My name is Jack Sperry. I'm the host of Steelers Talk, and today on the program, I'm going to be answering your questions on the black and gold here. The schedule release was this week. Lots of fun stuff for the Pittsburgh Steelers to discuss. But before we get into your questions, make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already to join the most interactive Steelers community here on YouTube. All right, we have watch parties, live watch parties for every single Steelers game, preseason, regular season, and postseason. Those are super fun. So if you want a place to hang out with your fellow Yinzers during game days, during the 2024 season, this is going to be the place for you. We also have daily and free Steelers content covering the news and rumors of the day. It's all 100% free. So if you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding the Pittsburgh Steelers and you want to join a community of over 52,000 Yinzers that bleed black and gold, go ahead and click that subscribe button right now and join our family. We got a question here from Ricky Campbell, $5 super chat, says, I've had a lot of fans on Facebook saying Russell Wilson is washed up. I don't think so. Russell Wilson will help the Steelers win the division. So here's the thing with Russell Wilson, man. So in his final few years in Seattle, had no help from the offensive line whatsoever, was constantly under pressure, and he was still, year in and year out, a consistent MVP candidate. Okay, then he goes to Denver with Nathaniel Hackett, who in my opinion, now that Matt Canada's out of the league, he is the worst offensive play caller in football, right? He sucks, okay? And that was his play caller. And like the wide receivers there in Denver were not that great either. Cortland Sutton, I think, is more of a number 2 guy. He was his number 1 receiver. Jerry Jeudy has butterfingers for hands, can't catch the ball. He's got tiny hands too. I mean, he just didn't have a whole lot of help there. And then his running backs were always hurt. I mean, it was just a complete shit show there in Denver for Russ during the Nathaniel Hackett year. And then the next year with Sean Payton. Sean's a great coach, but he was not a good fit for Russell Wilson and his play style. Russ wants to be out there being a playmaker, throwing the ball deep, play action, deep shots, that sort of stuff. And Sean Payton wanted a point guard, somebody that could change the play at the line of scrimmage, all these different things, and then, get to the right play and then get rid of the ball quickly. That's not Russell Wilson's game, and it was like mixing oil and water. So no wonder why Russell Wilson didn't play as well as he did in Seattle those 2 years in Denver. Now he's heading to a situation here in Pittsburgh where he's being lined up with Arthur Smith, who wants to do play action, deep shots, down the field, and that is absolutely something that Russell Wilson can do well. So I think Russell Wilson is going to have a nice comeback year here in 2024. Then we got one from Making You Nervous, and he says, what's your concern level over Cam Heyward sitting out OTAs while he negotiates a new contract? I'm not concerned about this at all. Cam Heyward is somebody that I know is going to be on this roster ready to play for the 2024 season, no matter what happens during these negotiations. He has said himself, these are non-mandatory workouts here, the OTAs, right? He's going to be there for mandatory minicamp, all right? And I know people are like, well, he usually goes to the voluntary workouts, and that's true, but he wants a new contract. So he's by no means required to go. He's coming off groin surgery this offseason. He is getting older, so he might be looking to preserve himself a little bit here heading into the season, and maybe not going to voluntary workouts is part of that. So I think Cam Heyward is going to get an extension. It's going to be a relatively team-friendly deal because he's trying to win Super Bowls over these next 3 seasons to finish out his career. And he doesn't want to jeopardize the Steelers' chances of being able to put a good team around him. So I think they are going to get a deal done. He's going to be there for mandatory minicamp, and everything's going to be just fine. So let me know down there in the comments section, what is your concern level over Cam Heyward and that situation? Put it on a scale of 1 to 10 for me down there in the comments section for today's pinned comment. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, put it on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not worried whatsoever, and 10 being I'm panicking, man. Then we got one from Scott Gilbert here. It says, do you think they use Justin Fields like they used Cordell Stewart? I think they should seriously consider this. So, yeah, I mean, absolutely. I do think that that's possible. Now, I don't think Fields will be on the field as much as Stewart was. I think that if Russ is going to get vast majority of the plays, and Fields will have a package, like they'll put him out there from time to time. They'll put him maybe in there for like 4th and short situations. He might be like their short yardage, tush-push type of quarterback option, and they might even use him on kickoffs. There's some interesting ideas on how to use him during kickoffs this year, but I don't think he's going to be like a person that's on there like 50% of the time or something like that. I do think Russell Wilson will be the on the field for most of the time, and then Fields will have certain packages that he gets in on the field. Then we got one from Alaska, Cory. And he says, Mr. Sperry, if you could trade for any wide receiver, who should you get? So if I could trade for anyone, I would trade for Brandon Ayuk. I love Brandon Ayuk's game. He's a good run blocker for his size. Elite route runner, would be an upgrade over Deontay Johnson immediately at that Z position spot. I don't think the 49ers would trade him, but out of all the guys that we have heard rumors about connected to the Steelers this offseason, I think Brandon Ayuk would be an excellent fit with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, before I get to the rest of your questions today, we talked about Russell Wilson here for quite a bit here already on today's mailbag. And if you want to get his officially licensed number 3 Steelers jersey, you can find it right now from our friends at Fanatics when you use our link, chatsports.com/Russ. If you use that link, Fanatics knows that we were the ones that sent you, and it helps support the channel. So I'm going to put that link to in the comments and description of today's show. And they have super high quality jerseys. It's the officially licensed Nike jerseys that they sell on their website. So it's fantastic stuff. If you're a believer in Russell Wilson, and you think he's going to really change things here in Pittsburgh for the foreseeable future, you can go to chatsports.com/Russ and get your official Russell Wilson jersey in your closet today. Then we got one from a teaser who says, if you had to guess, do you think Cory Trice Jr. has a breakout season this year? If I'd have to guess, I would say no. And the reason why I would say no is because he did go in the 7th round for a reason. All right, he does have the injury risk, and I just don't know what the speed is going to be like coming off of that ACL injury, especially because he didn't get the development of that first season. And Cory was somebody that needed some development heading into the league, and he's going to have to essentially spend the second year in the league as his rookie campaign. He's going to have to learn the ropes of the league here when he's really expected to, this is kind of do or die time for somebody like Cory, who was taken in the 7th round. They don't have time to wait 2 to 3 years and hope Cory becomes a starter. And I think a lot of people talk about Cory Trice Jr. the same way they talked about Calvin Austin III last year, like he was going to break out and be like an awesome superstar that was just going to be absolutely fantastic after missing his entire rookie season. And I'm just not sure if that's going to be the case. Now, is it possible he might be a nice rotation piece, a good insurance policy in case one of the 2 top starters in this cornerback room get hurt? Sure, I think there's a good chance he makes the roster as a backup corner. But, even though it's possible he develops into a starter, I would say it's pretty unlikely at this point. Now, let me know down there in the comments section, is Cory Trice Jr. going to boom or bust in 2024? Type boom or bust for me down there in the comments section to let me know. Then we got one from Omar's Burner here, Black Diamond, who says, update on Cam Sutton. There's not much of an update there, honestly. The Steelers have met with him before the draft, and then they met with him again about a week after the draft. And it seems to me like the Steelers are going to wait on any potential penalty from the National Football League in terms of a suspension or a fine after his domestic incident in Florida earlier this offseason. But I think if it's a short suspension or if it's just a fine, the Pittsburgh Steelers will eventually sign Cam Sutton. All right, so make sure you guys go ahead and click that thumbs up icon. If you are a real one, you've subscribed to the channel, you support our show. Clicking that thumbs up icon is not only free and easy and takes half a second of your time, but it really does help out our channel. Tells the YouTube algorithm that you're enjoying our content, that they should push it out to other Steelers fans like yourselves. So if you want to help us grow, make sure you click that thumbs up icon and like today's video. Then we got on from Evander Khan, who says, do the Steelers have any realistic chance of winning a Super Bowl this year? So I think there's a chance. I'm not going to say the Steelers are number 1 on my list of teams that could win the Super Bowl this year, but I think they're a top 10 team in football for sure. And I think they have a quarterback in Russell Wilson that has been to that big game, has won that big game, and a similar kind of structure team-wise to the Steelers have now, right? They have a great defense like Seattle had back when they won that Super Bowl. They should have a really good run game, just like Seattle had with that Super Bowl run. And, Russ wasn't asked to do too much with that Seattle run with the Legion of Boom there. They had a great head coach, a great defense, a great run game, good weapons around him, and he did a good job delivering in the clutch and delivering victories in the postseason. I think Russell Wilson at 35 years old is more than capable of playing that role with a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers. So even though I don't think they're at the very top of the mountain right now in terms of Super Bowl odds, I do think there is some universes out there where the Pittsburgh Steelers win a Super Bowl in 2024. So sound off for me down there in the comments section. Does the Pittsburgh Steelers have any chance at winning a Super Bowl in 2024? Even a 1% chance? Let me know down there in the comments section by giving me a yes or no. Make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. I greatly appreciate your support. And until next time, folks, here we go, Steelers.